So we have our star. I always think of Dr. Jaffer as the medical star because he's so positive and he's such a, he's angelic, actually. What were you like as this is Dr. Mohsin Jaffer, and he is the founder of Senior Medical Associates, and we love having him on the show. So what were you like as a kid, Dr. Jaffer? Were you like this, smiling all the time and happy?
I was a happy child, yes, indeed. And I had a mother who never went to school, but she had a lot of wisdom, the earthy wisdom that people who learned life with the hard knocks. And she had the most positive attitude, no matter what happened. It never fazed her. She always looked at the bright side. And I think I am very grateful that I learned from her. You know, even if I fell down and I was bleeding in my knee, I said, lucky you. Look, you didn't break a leg, you know? You just got a little boo-boo, you know? We put a tape over it. Suddenly the tears are gone, everything, and I'm feeling lucky I didn't break a leg. So that earthy wisdom has prevailed, and I'm very grateful for it because we can make our lives so miserable by looking at the dark side or the glass half full, rather than be grateful for that half a glass we got.
And have you taught your children the same thing?
I believe I have tried my best, and they are all happy kids. Because there's another thing, we as parents are very anxious to have our children as successful people. But in the process, they become so high-strung and their lives are so difficult and constrained and hectic that they forget to have fun. And I think we should aim at making happy children rather than just success alone. Because to me, happiness is the greatest success in life. You look at the whole world, the spectrum, you know, from poor to very rich or very successful or very powerful, what do they all want? At the end of the day, everyone is looking for happiness. And it's the most valuable commodity when you think about it. And it's so easily achievable because it's all here. Happiness or unhappiness is all here.
Right. We need a tattoo across our head. Happy. Are you happy? Well, it's interesting you should say that because I had a mother like that too. My mother's very smart. She only went through high school at the time because she was born in 1909, I think. So, but she was terrific. And my mother helped me when I think about it. My mother always said, just, you know, be yourself. And you're great and you can do it. And that's what I guess I live with the same way. And that's a lot of parents, of course, don't mean to be cruel, but they can be cruel and it makes a difference in what that child thinks. But, you know, you're dealing with a lot of patients and these patients come from these families. And so no matter what you say, they're bringing their history with them. And I hope that you can change that history if they think enough of you. What do you think?
We can make a difference at least. And one good thing about the doctor-patient relationship is it is still held in very high esteem. Patients still respect their doctors even more than their priests. So when a doctor says something, he or she has the power to influence the thinking of their patients. So this is a very great gift to doctors. In that process, when we have this respect and an audience from our patients, we as doctors have the ability to influence their thinking, which in turn percolates to their mind, body, and soul connection. How you think, you become. And if we can change their thinking from the negative side to the positive side, to optimism, to hope, then there is salvation.
Now, in the days that we're suffering with the coronavirus, and people, of course, are suffering in a sense, even if they don't have it, they can get depressed or they can get whatever they get. How are you dealing with your patients? What are you saying to them? Because I want people who are listening to this get some psychology from you and teach them what they could be doing now.
You see, in the olden days, if you were homebound, you had no access to the outside world. But with the electronic media today, your whole world is just a window through your computer or your tablet or your phone, and you can access any library in the world. You can access any film library, and you can see any movie, any show, any program, and you can access your friends and see them live, with FaceTime or Skype or WhatsApp. You can literally see your friend or family, so that isolation has really become much blunted compared to the olden days when we didn't have the access to this new medium. So I think people are very lucky that the lockdown is not entirely a lockdown. They have access to friends, family, and people who could bring them that human connection. Because we are gregarious animals, and we like that human connection. It's very vital to our well-being. You can't be isolated. In prison, the worst punishment is isolation cell, where they take a prisoner and put him in one cell with no access to another human being. And it is considered a very strong punishment because we need that connection with other human beings. So luckily, the lockdown for a senior does not mean that single cell isolation. They have access. The only problem is a lot of our seniors are very computer shy or phone shy, or they don't want to access the medium. But I think I would beseech all family and friends of the seniors who are computer shy to really give them a crash course, to really help them become mobile in terms of the social media. This will open up their world and truly reduce the chances of isolation and depression and anxiety.
I'm glad you said that, because we have now become affiliated, very strongly affiliated with an organization called elearningforseniors.com. And you'll be hearing and seeing, and we've been sending things out, and I hope that you've gotten them, but we're hoping that, and it's more than that, we're going to have so many things on there. We're going to have maybe our Cure Symposium, and right now there are huge amounts of courses and all sorts of people in healthcare, home care, everything you can imagine. So we're very excited about this, and you're right. Now we believe that the older adults can either they get it themselves or someone in their family or a friend helps them to learn. Because you know that when I didn't know how to do some things, like things on my bedspread or something, you can go to YouTube. And you just say that, and all of a sudden it pops up and someone says, okay, you take this corner, you do this, and you do that. So you're right, besides all the fun things, there's so much education on the computer. So we've grasped this company now that we're affiliated with, and I'll be very interested in your opinion of it, because we're thinking that people should be helping all their patients, and elearningforseniors.com, that right now there's a free membership, a lifetime membership, but it will be normally cost $25 for the year, and it's going to be extraordinary. And I'd love your input, because see, your Zoomer Times TV now is being put on there also. All the TV is going to be there. And they're sending this. They're getting names to send this to like hundreds of thousands of people. So this is a whole new thing I can't wait to tell you about. So I'll go on site when we online when we get finished, because what you just said is like I paid you to say what you just said.
I think it's a very good effort, because I remember my patients used to say, I miss my grandchildren, or I miss my children because they are in another city far away. I only see them during Mother's Day or Father's Day, or Thanksgiving. So I said, get on the computer, you can see them. In those days, we didn't have Skype and all that. And I remember there were classes in elementary schools for seniors to learn computers. Today, the Y gives classes. So things have moved on. And the phone has made life so much easier, because you've got FaceTime. You just press the number on a FaceTime and you can literally see your grandchild or your son or daughter far away. But keeping learning is a very important factor. You see, the greatest scourge, the tsunami that is coming towards us is dementia. Alzheimer's, dementia, all this group of diseases that affects the brain. And it's the greatest robber of sanity. And it's so sad. I mean, you saw President Reagan, a very robust president, became nothing because his mind was stolen with Alzheimer's. So that is a tragedy, and all of us fear it. We don't know who will get it. There is no good test about it. But we know there is an ability to blunt the progression of dementia by mental exercises, Sudoku and this and that. I'll send you some mental exercises that I've got. You can put that on e-learning. And
Good.
I would tell our seniors that if you're brushing your teeth with your right hand, brush your teeth with left hand,
Right.
If you're doing things, do things with one hand and do another thing. Just training your brain to make new connections. If you're walking, you do a different route. Change what you do usually. Teach your brain to be alert, to make new connections, to do Sudoku, to do crosswords. All these things help a lot. Because a lot of seniors just sit in front of the TV and watch the TV. This is very passive. I'd rather you sat down and read a book. Because think about it, when you read a book, you're looking at those letters that make words, and words make sentences, and sentences make paragraphs, and paragraphs make ideas. And then your brain goes on a journey and makes connections, puts faces on that character, puts faces or ideas, and they become visual characters in your mind. This exercise is very, very good for your brain. This keeps your brain young. Up to now, we thought the brain was one-way street. If the brain cells died, they died. We didn't know that the brain was plastic. Now we are sure there is plasticity in the brain. New cells can occur. New ideas can be learned. New connections can be made. Like whatever you know today, maybe you learned 20 years ago. Why is it still in your memory? Certain connections were made, and those connections are still prevailing. And now you can recall them, and that's memory. So
I'd like to steal something that you said, having a brain journey. I love that. Have a journey with your brain, right? When you're reading or doing something. But you bring up a good point, and this is going to get into the medical aspects. So sure, reading, watching television is very important if you're trying to educate yourself, but people who have cataracts, let's talk. I know you're not an ophthalmologist, but you do know a lot of things. Talk about what you tell your patients with cataracts and to take care of it so that they can see. And the same thing with hearing. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. They're not going to get educated.
Let's start with the vision. Cataract is the biggest cause of blindness in the world. Poor people all over the world get cataract, they can't read, can't see, and they become blind. And today in America, it's only a 5-10 minute operation, and it restores your sight. In fact, even they put a lens inside and they give you new numbers. You don't even need to wear glasses anymore. Remember how we wore those thick glasses in the olden days after cataract? That's not even necessary. Today, technology has gone so far, it's a simple operation. So I would advise any of our viewers, if you have cataract, your solution is so simple, and it is almost 100% guaranteed. Very few people have complications. It is such an easy and well-tried procedure. So don't fear the operation. Get your cataracts treated, and you will not even need glasses because they'll put lenses inside. It's just the march of time. Our lenses are very, very pliable. They change in their thickness, so you can see far, you can see near, and it changes in their thickness. But they become stiff, and they also get discolored. And instead of being clear like glass, they get cloudy, milky cloudy, and you can't see through. So this lens is bad, but you put a new one in, and life is so much simpler. So don't fear treating your cataract. So that's a very easy solution. Number two, while we're talking about vision, all seniors must go to their optometrist once a year. because he or she will measure your pressure. If you get glaucoma, that is the biggest robber of eyesight also, because your vision slowly clamps down and finally you can't see anymore. And it's so easy to treat with just a drop a day. So if you get glaucoma, it's treatable, but you want your doctor to be able to detect it early and start treating it. And now that is vision. Let's talk about hearing. If you can't hear, you're missing out on such an important faculty of yours. You can't talk, you can't listen, you can't go to a restaurant and have dinner with friends because the ambient noise is so bad. But today you got nice hearing aids. In fact, we even got bone implants, so you can go to a long way. So visit to your ENT doctor would be very fruitful, and you can get good results. But the hearing aids are so good. They are inside the ear, outside the ear, and all sorts of things. So there is no reason why in modern America today, our seniors should have a vision problem or hearing problem. They are fixable, unless you've got some other diseases that are not reversible. But most of us, the run-of-the-mill problems are easily fixable. They should fix it and start enjoying life. Because look at our seniors. They have worked all their lives. They took care of themselves, they brought in a family, took care of a family, did work. Today they have retirement now. They have a small number of years left. Every year should be productive and fun, and nothing should impair it. If there's a problem, talk to your doctor. He or she will guide you and help you fix it. But you can't get help until you ask for it.
And the one thing that, it's not so much with cataracts, but with hearing, people are so stigmatized with that. They think that they've said, because I was in that business, I was very involved with a company for 4 years as a marketing for them. And it was, they used to say, I used to laugh, well, if I wear a hearing aid, they're going to think I'm old. I'm going to say, if you don't wear a hearing aid, they're going to think you're old, right?
The good thing about being a retiree is that you throw your cares to the wind. So what if you think you're old? You're as old as you think you are. Youth is a state of mind. You know, you cannot grow old until you believe so.
Okay, and now I've got you today, boy. I'm really going at you with stuff. Now let's talk about people who are older and they want to find romance. Do you encourage that?
Oh, absolutely. What a tragedy, you know? What a tragedy that seniors think, oh, I don't deserve romance. And I have given a lot of lectures on sex also, and how that intimacy is such a vital part of what we are. We human beings, like I said, we are gregarious. We like that human connection. And passion is a very strong emotion. And we are basically all passionate people. We love to love and love to be loved back. That is so satisfying. That is so enamoring and so wanted by all of us. So why not get more of it? Now, a lot of our seniors are widows or widowers. There is no reason why they should not meet other people. Now, a lot of widows or widowers think, oh, I don't want another wife, I don't want another husband, oh, I had enough of it, you know. But you can be friends, you can be platonic friends, just having a female companion or a male companion to go out for a movie, to go out for a meal, you know, and to share a good time, or to have companionship. And people miss out on that, and I think they should explore it. It's in your church or synagogue or mosque or temple, wherever you want to go, you can meet people there, like-minded people, in your societies, in your clubs. And a lot of senior places have a lot of clubs, you know, badminton club and card club and this club and that club and swimming club. Join them all, meet people and be open. I think a lot of us are shy. Forgive me, my allergies are acting up.
Especially the men, actually.
Yes, they're very shy. Just be shameless. I mean, what worse can happen? She will ignore you or say no. So what?
Right.
There's no harm to being told no. So what? You know, we become like teenagers. We are so scared to approach the girl when we were young, and that teenage mentality still persists. Okay, even though we are married, we have children, grandchildren, but now because I'm a widower and I want to meet another woman, I'm shy like a teenager again. So I would strongly implore the men and women out there who are looking for companionship to be shameless.
You know, Dr. Jaffer, the one problem I've seen, oftentimes, and I totally agree with you, but oftentimes the adult children of the elders have their opinions, and they're so afraid that that maybe that person they're getting involved with, the family member, is going to take their money. I mean, you have no idea how many people have said, well, I like her, I like him, but my family said blah, blah, blah. I just wish we could get that changed.
You're right. I have intervened on behalf of our patients many times, and I've told the children, I said, what are you scared of? You made some very important points. Oh, my mother will be taken for a ride, she will be hurt, and this guy only wants to take advantage of her funds, or he just wants to make use of her. Maybe he'll give her STD, sexually transmitted disease, which is a problem, and she might get too affectionate and even marry him, and our inheritance will be in a turmoil. So all those factors come out, and the children sometimes, unfortunately, are selfish.
Yes.
And I tell them, just reverse the roles. Think if you are your mom, who lives alone and wants companionship. She loved your dad, but the dad is gone like 5-10 years now. She's alone. She wants companionship. Yes. If you were your mother, wouldn't you want that for yourself? And that rings a bell. That gives a reality check, and they say, oh my God, yes. I said, yes. Like how when you were a teenager and you wanted to go with a boyfriend, what did your mother do? And your dad interviewed the boy and kept an eye on you and kept a curfew. Nowadays, all people have phones. You can check on your mom. Mom, are you home again? Are you okay? Is he being nice to you? Even halfway through the date, you can call her, Mom, are you okay? So you can be like a mother again. I tell my seniors that as we grow older, our children become our parents and we become their children, in some ways.
Yeah, I know.
Let them mother you. Let your daughter mother you, but give you the freedom to have a new companion.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to tell everybody, you've been listening to Dr. Mohsin Jaffer. He is the founder of the seniormedicalassociates.net. Now, let me give you their phone number. Remember, we used to say Pencil Radio, and now Pencil Talk Radio. This is Zoomer Times TV. The number is 954-659-9690. 659-9690 with a 954 in front. Now, they have centers all over: Coconut Creek, Carl Springs, Deerfield Beach, Hollywood, Pembroke Pines, Plantation, Oakland Park, Sunrise, Tamarack, Weston. They speak many languages to accommodate all their patients. And of course, Dr. Jaffer he has such a pure, beautiful mind, the way he speaks, and it's always such a pleasure to have you on. You are rare. You're one of a kind, I have to say, and I know I could ask you anything and you have an answer for it. So my last, well, I don't know, I don't think we've run out of time yet, but everything is so scary now that people with blood pressure are finding that it's going up. What are you telling them besides relaxing? They need more medication, or should they do more exercise, or what should they do?
Blood pressure is one of those diseases that left untreated will cause a lot of damage. And unfortunately, it's a silent disease. It's one of those main silent killers of our generation. Why blood pressure happens up to today, we don't know the exact cause of high blood pressure. But once your pressure is high, we know for sure it's relentless, and the damage done to your heart, to your blood vessels, to your brain, to your kidney is inevitable. You will end up, if you got high blood pressure long enough, you'll have kidney damage, you'll have heart damage, your blood vessels will get clogged, and you may end up with a stroke or heart attack or kidney failure. So, even though it's a silent disease, it behooves us to treat it. And we live in a country which is really very, very cautious. So we have looked at this very cautiously, and all our experts have agreed, and every few years they gather together and make a new pronouncement on what level of blood pressure is good or bad, what treatments are good. So we are really on top of it all. And a lot of people think it's a hype, a doctor just wants to treat me. No. If your doctor tells you you got high blood pressure, please listen to your doctor. Take the medicines. If you have side effects, tell your doctor, okay? Understand your medical problem and understand the treatment. The treatment should never be worse than the disease, okay? That's unfortunately what happens with medicines. You get side effects. So there are a lot of medications. If one doesn't work, another one will work. Sometimes it's a combination. Sometimes you might need 2, 3, or 4 medications to keep your blood pressure under control. Because blood pressure is this, just imagine, if I have 1 pound of fat, for example, my heart pumps through 150 miles of capillaries. So if I have 10 pounds extra, I'm pumping blood from here to New York. So there's just very important that we lose our weight, okay? But your heart is a simple little pump, okay? Pumping all the time from 60 to 100 times a minute. And it is pumping this blood against a pressure. If the pressure is high, the work is much more. Okay, it's like pushing an empty box or a heavy box. So if your blood pressure is low, the work for your heart is much less. So why do you want to stress your heart? You know, if your heart doesn't work well, you don't have a very good life, okay? You want to keep your heart happy, so bring your blood pressure down. If your pressure is high, you are endangering the blood vessels in your brain, and you'll get stroke or blow out a blood vessel, which is a aneurysm or a stroke from a clot or a burst blood vessel. And you are going to stress your kidneys with this high blood pressure. So it's very important you listen to your doctor and take your medications. Read up about it. Don't be blasé. A lot of seniors, you meet them and say, what medicines you take? I don't know what medicines I take. You must know every medicine you take, why you take it, and all the things around it, effects and side effects. This is your body. You are the best doctor you have. Nobody knows your body better than you do. So please, don't treat it like a garbage can. Anything you put in it, you must be aware of it. Even with medicines and with the food you put in.
I'm glad you said that. You're so clear on everything, but I wanted to backtrack on something. Why do some medicines work then? Let's say you're taking medication, they work and the other one doesn't work. I never have understood that.
You know, Anita, everybody's looking at you just now, and there is no one like you in this world. You might have a few people may look similar, but there's no one like you. Even your siblings are not like you.
Right.
Every one of us is a unique copy. How our body works and how it responds is different. You take one disease and put it in 10 people, all 10 of them will manifest it differently. And you treat them all with a medicine, all of them will respond differently. So this is the beauty of our humankind. We are unique. Please treat yourselves as unique. All of you must believe that you are special and you are different. But you have to find what works for you and tailor it for your convenience and comfort.
That's excellent advice, and we're running out of time. So I just want to make sure everyone knows this is Dr. Mohsin Jaffer, and he is the founder of SeniorMedicalAssociates.net. Phone number to call is 954-659-9690. And I just can't applaud him enough. I can't wait to talk to him every month and Dr. Jaffer, please do get on elearningforseniors.com and let's have a discussion about it, because I'd like all your patients to get it, and we'll talk about how we can conveniently do that. But thank you again. You're just perfect. Stay well, and I'm going to stay well.
Thank you.
Waiting for my next time with you.
Stay healthy, stay safe.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye.